Well, after a little break, how raring is the team to get back into things?
Yeah, we've had a good week training, so we trained through the weekend and players prepared, getting ready for the Saints. So really looking forward to a hit out against a team that's in the 8 and playing really good footy.
Obviously, extra special, Buddy's 350th. Just how momentous is this occasion, not only for him but for the club as well?
Oh, I think for Lance it's incredible. I think there's been only 20, 21 odd players that have played 350 AFL games, and to get in amongst that crew and be at the very top of the goal kicking tree as well is a special tribute to a great player. And we're looking forward to being a part of that celebration tomorrow. We've got to make sure we come out and do a job. We've got a job to do, which is to play a really competitive brand against St Kilda. But there's no doubt it's a special moment for Lance, and to be a part of Hawthorn and now the Sydney Swans and achieve what he's been able to achieve is fantastic.
In terms of, you've obviously played with Wayne Carey, considered one of the best. Are you coaching one of the best?
Yeah, he's absolutely in the bracket of the best key forwards to have ever played the game. It's hard to separate who is the best. I think they're all in a similar bracket. Some of the greats. I just think in the modern era, with game styles the way they are and so hard to kick goals, and him being the absolute standout during this period makes him quite unique and a player who's able to really break open games at his best over the years. And it's great to be able to come along to coach him, but to play with him as teammates, but also supporters to come along and watch him. And hopefully we get a big crowd here to watch him play.
And obviously Indigenous players and issues around race and fans has been a big talking point over the last couple of weeks. So what ways are you supporting Lance in this big milestone game for him, and how does this game show how far the AFL and their relation to Indigenous affairs has come?
Oh, I think this is about Lance and his 350th. I think that's the focus that Lance has been able to achieve and what we should be celebrating, and the fact that he's one of the all-time great Indigenous players is not lost on anyone either. It's we've had Michael O'Loughlin, Adam Goods, and Lance Franklin as far as some of the very best Indigenous players who have played the game, and the game's come a long way. Still learning, and Lance is still loving the fact that he can get out here and run around with his teammates at 36 years of age as one of the all-time greats.
And in terms of Lance, a lot of talk is about, is he physically ready for this game? Is it a case of being mentally ready for this game as well, and all the fanfare and the attention that comes with it?
Oh, he's played some pretty big games over the years. I mean, did you see the 1,000 goals here last year? That was a pretty big game. So, I mean, he's just used to that type of pressure that comes with playing and performing. He's done it his whole life, and the expectations that come alongside that. So he usually gets himself in a pretty good space. He'll be mindful that the most important thing is for us to be competitive in the way we play our footy tomorrow night. That's the most important thing from his perspective, and everything else sits alongside that.
And physically, it's obviously a week-to-week case. How's he feeling going into Thursday in that respect?
Yeah, I think he's physically he's okay. I mean, it's just a matter of at 36 years of age. We would love to have managed him a bit more this season. There's no question about that. But because of the injuries we've had to our key position players, we've been forced to play probably a bit more than what we'd planned at the start of the year. But coming off the bye last week, and hopefully he's up and feeling good.
Mm-hmm. And after getting that win last week, we've kind of seen you guys breaking the losing streak. Do you think this has given the side some confidence to turn the season around?
Yeah, we've played some good footy at times during the first half of the year, but it hasn't been for the length of a game that we needed to. And last week was a bit more like that consistency level that we'd like to be able to strive for. So that's our challenge for the back end of the year, is to make sure that we bring that consistency now and not just play a quarter here or there, but just show a bit more consistency in the way we play our footy. And our players believe that. It's just a matter of now we're going to go out and action it.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of long-term consistency, obviously Blakey's just made a really long-term commitment to this club. So how important is that to the side?
Oh, I think Nick's one of the really key young players in our group. We've got a number of key young players that we're really confident in that they'll be able to keep this team competitive for a long period of time, and Nick's one of those key young players. It's great to be able to have a long-term commitment from Nick, and he's a very important player for us now, and we think that importance will only grow. So he and alongside a few others that we're really keen on, we're hopeful that those guys really shoulder the load for coming years as far as making this team still be competitive.
Speaking of important players, Dane comes back. It's been a little while. Just how important is that inclusion?
Yeah, he's a key player for us. we haven't had many players come back from injury for a little while, so it's good to get one of our key players back. And he's been on the sidelines, been champing at the bit to try and get back in the team, and he's trained really well the last couple of weeks. So he's an important competitor, important leader, sets high standards, and generally makes it pretty tough for the opposition. So looking forward to getting back in the team.
Where's Joel at? Is he a chance tomorrow?
Yeah, he's a chance. I mean, we're weighing up at the moment his preparation and what he's done. He's done a lot of work and worked really hard. He's been a real pro the way he's gone about it. So we'll sit down this afternoon and work out what that looks like in the team, and what our team balance looks like, and what his preparation for him and what's best for him for the rest of the season as well as tomorrow. He's an important player for us. And
in terms of the ladder, really congested in the middle. Saint sit at the top of that cluster, you sit at the bottom. I mean, does that just illustrate the importance of tomorrow night?
We don't spend a lot of time looking at the ladder, and never have. It's more about what do we need to do to get our game style right. That's always the result, is the ladder. We look at the process, which is the first step, and we've got to get that right. We've got to get our contest right. We've got to improve our stoppage work. We've got to play the ball a bit more in our front half. So those type of things are the things we're focusing on.
Confident it'll be a sellout?
Hope so. I mean, very rarely do you get a chance to see one of the all-time greats run around in his 350th game. Hopefully there's a huge crowd here.
And how have the mid-season draft picks been looking at training recently?
Yeah, they've been good. They've only trained a couple of times, so we've only got a little glimpse of them, but hopefully we get a bit more of a glimpse of them this week. And so far they've been good. 24 and a 21-year-old, mature, big bodies, and early start, but look good.
That sounds great. And my last question is, obviously tomorrow's game is the Pride game, so what are some ways that you think this will help push forward, I guess, LGBTQ issues within the AFL, and what are some places that we have to go, given that there are still no LGBTQ players openly out in the men's game yet?
Oh, I just think it's another sign that we're confident, and it's important for us to make everyone feel comfortable when they come along and watch sport. It's just whether you're in the crowd, whether you're playing, it's about making sure you're comfortable in any space, and that's why it's important to be able to support an important issue in the community, and we feel very proud that we're able to do that.